Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time it's the first of two, possibly three videos taking a look and cleaning up the collection of vintage Penguin handbooks that came from the barn find. And these are a real mixture of subjects. Some of them are really oddball, some of them are absolutely beautiful books to look at. So I'm really looking forward to going through these and hopefully filling in a few gaps in my own collection. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Okay then, so a bit of a mishmash here, and I've really got no idea how these are going to hold up, but we'll look through. And obviously anything that's a little bit too far gone, well, that's going to have to go to one side. I don't tend to throw any books away unless they're absolutely falling to bits. Then I might throw them away. But generally speaking, if they're a bit too far gone for a collector, I have got a friend who takes old penguins just for their aesthetic look. He just likes how they look on the shelf. That one, to be all honest, is probably, it's pretty borderline, to be honest, because it's got such a worn and faded spine. It's got that big crease on the front cover. I'd almost be tempted to put that one in that secondary category rather than a real collector's one, but I'll keep it there for now because it's sort of borderline, that one. How to Drive Safely is another one here with not the greatest of spines. The Penguin Handbooks were an interesting series. They sort of started towards the end of the Second World War and they kept going into the 80s, and in fact we all have some here, some that are actually ISBN ones. This is a tail end one for the numbering system, 1967. So apart from the spine, he's not too bad. But they are going to be a bit of a mixture. We will find lots and lots of cookery books. So that one, at least you can see the number on it. But it looks like it's been in the kitchen at some point. And you find that with cookery books. If someone's been referring to this while they've been in the kitchen and they've been looking at the recipe, then potentially something's happened with that. Something's gone on the end of it. I mean, it's still not too bad. Obviously, all of these are going to need a brush, and quite a few of them are going to need a polish as well. This is one of the earlier ones. In fact, Penguin Handbook number 3, Tree Fruit Growing. Now, a lot of these ones here, these early generic ones, were first published as Penguin Specials during the war, and then they got printed as handbooks. So this one here, look. Those first two printings would have been as a Penguin Special. This new edition, 1946, would have been the first time that the book got published as a Penguin Handbook. And that's what we've got here. Yeah, tiny little bit at the top of the spine there. Now, I haven't had this glue off for ages, so I don't know how it's gonna be. I might need to get it in action again. Let's see. Is it going to squirt out okay? How are we doing? There we are, a little bit there. And then we want a bit underneath. Don't need a lot on that bit, because it was 2-ply. Right, tiny bit now for the final flap. I think that'll be enough. There we are. Yeah, just folded that little bit back in. I believe some of these earlier ones are ones that I'm short of. Now that I'm going to put on a separate pile because I won't be able to brush that. Or I will be able to brush it, but I won't be able to polish it, rather. Okay, cats. Looks like it's got a 2 and 6 on the front. That was in pencil. It's a little bit grubby. Handbook number 30. And I am sort of the opinion with handbooks that they do sort of need to be in sort of tip-top shape to be warranted for a collector to even be bothered with. And I would say that that one there, with all the foxing on it as well, I mean, that is really serious foxing on that one. I'd say that one is not up to collector's standards, but it's not fit for the bin, but it's not, I don't think, worth saving so as a collectible. So I'm going to put it to one side, and that can go to my friend who just wants them for how they look rather than the content. This, however, is absolutely fine. Improve your athletics. At least on first appearance, it looks fine. We do have to sort of keep the standards up. I don't want to be carrying lots of low-grade stuff around in stock. I'd rather, if people bought books off me, they know that the quality is going to be there. And with these, with very few exceptions, the Penguin Handbooks are a very, very cheap series to collect. Although not the easiest series to collect. Certainly some of them are actually really quite scarce. So bear that in mind if you're thinking of getting them. The way to do it is get a big collection like this and then do it that way. This is no good for anyone, so that's going to be to one side. As I said, these do vary quite a bit. Right, the Penguin Book of Wines. And they certainly like their wines and their cookery books as well in the Penguin Handbooks. Some of them end up being subjects that you almost can't believe, or they're just, it's the sort of book that would never be published today. But back when it was published, it obviously, Penguin thought there must have been a market for it, That's okay. That's all right. I'll allow a little bit of wear, but I won't allow them to be fallen to bits. See, that's another one like that last one we saw, same series, published in conjunction with the Royal Horticultural Society. This is a whole sub-series. Yeah, that's absolutely fine, that one. The Physical Health of Children. That's one I don't recognise. This might be one I'm missing. I haven't checked my list before I've started to go through these, but there's a few holes in my Penguin Handbook collection, that's for certain. I have not got them all. It's actually been a bit of time since I've filmed a cleaning video. I've had a few done in advance, of course. But I've been away and for a few days filming other places for the main channel, and it's meant I've been a little bit behind on my cleaning videos because I like to film 1 or 2 of these a week so I can sort of get ahead of the game. But it's just been really hard to do lately. But that's how it goes sometimes. How to drive safely. Bit of a worn spine here, and that I'm not liking the look of. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this, to be honest. How to drive safely, the art of survival. That sounds pretty serious, doesn't it? Yeah. That might come off, to be honest. We might be able to clean that one up, but I say it's not exactly like, a mega collectible book. Even if this was pristine, it would probably be only £2.50, £3 or something. It's just not really worth trying to save it. So I'm not going to. They've got to be tip top. Right, see, that's absolutely fine. Paint your own pictures. Bit foxed, but a lot of this foxing will come up once the books get brushed. So that's not too bad. A little bit aged, but not too bad. Delphiniums. Of course, these have got plastic covers on. The covers are laminated, which over the years has, of course, protected them very well. Still a bit of pencil there. There we are. Yeah, that one's alright. That'll clean up okay. Intelligent Parents Manual. I like the use of the Penguin logo there down the bottom. And when they do that, it's always fun. (1953). Once again, it's a little bit aged. As it happens, I don't think my actual Penguin Handbooks are even in the house. I think they're stored at my friend's house. So I might need to go and take these to there and double check for condition before I put these out for sale. This is a nice copy of this one, Using London. Massively out of date as a tool now, but as a historical document in a way, it's fantastic. 1971. It's an ISBN one. It's a later handbook. Great cover, isn't it? That's a nice copy of that one as well. Another favourite of mine, the Penguin Book of First Aid, because the Penguin logo is so much integrated into the cover, with the penguin carrying the bandage there. Beautiful looking book. This one's a little bit worn, but he's okay. It's okay. Thinking about marriage, well, not for me, because I've been married for many a year. But if you were thinking about marriage, Penguin, of course, had the book for you. All the things to consider. Oh, another copy of Improve Your Athletics. Quite a nice one, that, with a bright red cover. Yeah, that's okay. Now, Soft Fruit Grown, which is Penguin Handbook #1. Look at that. Which, once again, I think was a re-release of a Penguin Special. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, first published as a Penguin Special, December 42. Revised edition 1944. Second revised edition 1945. Which I'm assuming is this one here. Now that one, like the other one, a tiny little bit of the top there has come away. Let's see if we can target that. The glue is definitely not performing that smoothly today. Just need a tiny bit in there. I think that'll be enough. There we are. Yeah, that's all right. Quite a nice early one, that. The Flower Garden. This is number 19. It's got a 20p. You've got to think that some of these, like, gardening ones may have been kept in an outside shed, which might be the reason why they've ended up getting a bit crusty and a bit foxed. But overall, if they're all there and they're not looking too bad, that's worth saving in my book. Yeah, it's heavily foxed and probably quite brittle, but it is all there. It's not like ultimately mega dirty. Cooking for Special Diets, a famous author there, B. Nielsen. Yeah, that one's all right. Improve Your Golf. That's lovely. That's a nice copy. Oh look, it's signed. With very best wishes, Bill Cox. Who'd have thought it? There we are. So I've not had many signed books from the Penguin Handbook collection, but there's one. Very good indeed. I think that's worthy of taking a quick photo. Yeah, that one's saved for posterity, but that's really nice. That was a bonus, wasn't it? That was an absolute bonus. So very cool, very cool. I shall Remember that one. Right, the cool greenhouse. £50p. Quite a lot of pencil on this one. I think we've got most of it out. Yeah, there we are. And a couple of turned over corners, sadly. There we are. Yeah, that's not too bad. Water gardens. That's all right. Now we've got a few here which are slightly odd shaped. So this is I guess, quite a famous Penguin Handbook. It's by Len Dayton. And we did two. We did one called Où est le Garlic, which I don't think I've got a copy of. But this is the more famous one, Len Dayton's Action Cookbook. And this is a pretty nice copy of this. This is one that doesn't turn up in great shape. There is a gift pack with both books in, which I'm still looking for. But I haven't got that one. Yeah, here we are, 1967. But this is the first paperback, and that doesn't need anything doing to it. It's actually fine. Just needs a bit of a brush, so that's good. And there was 2B formats. Now this is slightly harder to get. It's not got the greatest spine, but it's just about okay. So we'll keep this one as a contender. Yeah, that's okay. And whatever this means, Slimnastics. They say ISBN. It's actually oversized. Looks like a keep fit thing. Yes, 1970. So right on the end of ISBNs, but there we are. It's just needs a bit of a brush, that one. Slimnastics. Okay. Right. Interior design. Diane Roundtree. So looking at the speed we're getting through these, I think we'll be able to do the Penguin Handbooks in two videos. There we are. That's a little bit of, what's this? Department of Anatomy, the School of Medicine in Leeds, with Professor Durwood's compliments. Professor Durwood, you say? Who was Professor Durwood? We will never know. However, a book on interior design is probably quite cool from the mid-60s, in all honesty. These are the sorts of books that are still looked at today by students of design. Yeah, that's all right. Nice copy of that as well, actually. Nice copy. Childbirth. It's Call the Midwife Time. That's annoyingly got a price on the inside cover, which I always hate because it's fiddly to get to. There we are. Okay. Retire and enjoy it. Well, okay, when I retire I will. I noticed that he's got quite a bit of reading to do in his retirement. This could be a foreshadowing of myself, I hope. Yeah, that's all right. Hold up. If we weren't sure before, we are definitely sure now, because there's another copy of Thinking About Marriage. We're definitely thinking about it, I promise. Right. the Penguin Book of Dogs. It's got that civil service sticker on the front there. It's unusual. That really does look like it's on for good, doesn't it, that one? So I'm very loath to try and take it off, so I'm not going to bother. I will polish the book though, of course. Now this is a later one, number 131. Posh food. Posh, you say. Got that 3 and 6 penned out there, which is a bit of a shame. There we are. Yeah, that's okay. The Penguin Book of Herbs and Spices. I said they did do a lot of cookery related ones. Not that we mind that. But they're not my favourite because there's so many of them. I like the sort of oddball ones. I think the dream period for Penguin Handbooks is the 1950s, with the more artwork covers rather than these photograph ones. But this is just of the time. It's just how they were. Now, this is the Penguin Handyman. And for a long time, I always thought that this was possibly the thinnest penguin of all. But it's not. There is one actually thinner than this, which is an economic outline and plan for India, is what it's called. And it's basically a pamphlet. It's just got a staple. It's got no spine to it at all. So I think that's the thinnest penguin of all. And this one is in the top 3, I would think, of thin penguins. It's pretty scarce as well, actually. This is only the second one I've had through my hands, but it's not the greatest of copies, but as I said, it's scarce. Bob Jones's Library, look at that, got a little stamp in. 1945, there we are. Once again at the top, tiny little bit of the spine is coming away, so I'm going to just off camera here try and get this glue working a little bit smoother. Got it going again. Only needs a slither in there, really. There we are. As I said before, this glue, once it dries completely clear, which is very handy indeed for us. Right. Ski holidays in the Alps. Shall we go to the Alps, darling? Yes, let's. I would love to go ski holidaying in the Alps. You've got to be fit to ski though, That is one sport where you do need to be fit, even if you're just doing it for a bit of fun or for leisure on a week's holiday or something. Something I've never ever done. But I know some people who have. This is very enjoyable, but also very strenuous. It's a strenuous sport. Right, a book of French wines. I love French wines. I really do. They're my favourites. I don't know if I'd ever want to read a whole book on them, but I know I like them. The wife and I went to the Loire Valley last year for a week in an Airbnb, and that was lovely. Very relaxing. There we are. Roses. Yeah, that's fine. This is one I don't recognise. Successful Living. I wonder if this is one I'm missing. I said I'm missing a few. I'm missing maybe 10 for the set. So I imagine they're all in here somewhere, or most of them. As I said, some of them are very obscure, but I don't mind. And that one's okay. That's a nice early one. French provincial cooking. That's quite a big size, this one. Quite a thickie. And it's taken a bit of a battering, but it's just about on the borderline. Yeah, the spine's still intact. Yeah, we'll see how that one comes up after it's had a bit of a polish. Oh, look, another copy of Successful Living. Oh, no, this is being misprinted. Look at that. The pages are coming out. Apart from that, he's all right. So let's see if we can sort that out. So we get rid of this 15p first of all. See, when I was a bookseller, if a book came in like this and it had some pages, it would just be put into the returns. You know, it would go back to Penguin and it would be pulped. If you fold it over, it's still not great, but it's not bad. I think, when I'm inside the house, I may well cut that down because the book's fine. Right, the Slimmer's Cookbook. Yeah, that's all right. It's a little bit grubby around there, but I suspect I'll be able to get that up okay. Now, this is one I'm pretty sure I haven't got. I don't remember this, The Breeding of Farm Animals. I don't think I've got this one. So this is good. And it looks nice condition as well. So that's pretty good. Yeah, it was a Penguin Handbook Original, 1946. So I think that's a new one on me. And same with this as well, actually. Number 11, Common Sense in the Nursery. Don't recognise this one either. And once again, very nice condition. Yeah, two nice books there, and I think both of those are new ones on me. So I'm pleased to see these. Yeah. Mrs. Sidney Frankenberg. Okay, Bidding at Bridge. I've never got into bridge, I find it quite a tough game to pick up. Maybe I need to play it more, but it's not me, not my thing. Once again, a few of these are a little bit borderline, I gotta say. Cooking in a Bedsitter. Bit of pen on the back, but that might, oh dear, there's some writing, scribbling inside there. Look at that. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the pen on the outside we could have got away with, but when it was on the inside like that, I'm afraid that is going to be for aesthetic looks only. Dogs. This is the original Penguin Book of Dogs. This is the earlier one. That's much, much better than the later one, isn't it, that we saw? That's beautiful, that one. Here we are, 1953. As I said, I think the handbooks, the 50s were the best looking ones for me. I think they're great, absolutely great. Right, let's take a short break there. Right, I've got the next pile out for us now, so at your service. And that will be about, once we've done these, that will be about half of the collection done, which will be excellent news. I wasn't sure if it's going to take a little bit longer than that, but of course some of these are actually later in history, aren't they? They don't need so much work. Now this one, it's actually in the wrong place. This is a special 138. So I've got this one in the wrong spot. Very, very nice copy by the look of it. But yeah, although it's a Penguin Handbook, it was actually a special first. There we are. So that was my fault for putting that in the wrong place. So that is going to have to go back in with the specials. Designed to fit the family. Look at the books on the bookcase there. Looks like there's a few pelicans. Not many penguins there. Yeah, once again, it's not great condition, but it's not rubbish. There we are. Okay. Oh, another copy of At Your Service. It's got a blooming great hole through the first few pages. Unfortunately, no good. And then yet another copy of Design to Fit the Family. So it's like we're seeing double of all these books. Yet they're nowhere near in numerical order, so that's weird, isn't it? It's just as they come. There we are, that's alright. And then another copy of Dogs. Not quite as nice as the first one. This one's actually got some tape on the bottom. It's a little bit grubbier. Oh, it's tape on the inside as well. Once again, that's unfortunately a no-no. Right, Jewish cookery. Once again, not looking the... Oh, it's all water soaked. Look at this, look. That's no good. The whole top of the book is water soaked, so unfortunately that one's no good either. Tree Fruit Growing Volume 1, Penguin Handbook number 2. So this should be alright. At least it is a handbook and not the special. Yeah. There we are. That's okay. Bit of a grubby spine, but nothing too bad. Improve your cricket. Well, I don't mind cricket. I don't mind playing it. I don't mind watching it, you know, in bits. But I don't follow it. Yeah, not bad. It's got a big crease on the front, but it's not too bad. It's quite a robust one. The Complete Guide to Investment, handbook number 90. Is it going to let me look at this first page? Yeah, there we are. It's okay, but once again, I think we're going to have to do quite a number on the old polishing today. That's a pretty nice copy of that one. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Blimey, another copy of At Your Service. That's actually the best one of all so far. Funny how some of these are duplicated and triplicated. 15p. That was worth it, wasn't it? I would have paid 15p. Yeah, that's okay. Another copy of this. It's all books we've seen before, isn't it? Where's the variety, I say to you? Where? And if you can believe it, another copy. So I reckon that's 3 copies of this we've seen. Maybe, yeah, 3 copies today of that one. Mad. Annual and biennial flowers. Handbook number 40. There we are. Right. So, next job then, I'm going to give these all a brush. Because that's about half of what we had. So we've done half the collection, which is fine. So we'll start with this little pile here. Let's get me a brush out. And some of these really were dusty, weren't they? So these are all the ones that are also going to need a polish. Let's do this little pile next. These are the earlier books which don't need a polish, or rather they can't be polished because they've got buff covers. the really oldest ones. Yeah, looking ahead at what we've got left, lots of different titles, but very much the same, a mixture of old and new, or like 40s and 60s and 70s stuff, you know. I don't like to do the brushing on the inside of the studio here because of the dust getting all around, but I don't know if you can hear, but today the wind is very, very bad. It's not crazy windy, but it's windy enough, and because of that there's no way I can do any polishing outside, so I'm having to do it here in the office, but that's fine. Here in the studio, okay. Now these are the slightly odd shaped ones, so I think I'll do these individually. This is obviously just standard B format. And this, well, what's that known as? Oblong. I don't know if it probably has an official name, but I don't know what that official name is. Almost there. There we are, right. So that's the cleaning and the brushing done. Final stage then is the polishing. Got my Mr. Sheen here. That's a little on the low side, but we'll be okay for today, I believe, but that is quite low, sadly. So we've got basically 2 power oils to do. These are now all done as best we can, and yeah, the early ones are very attractive. I think they are. The whole series has got its redeeming features, shall we say? I mean, it really has. But some are more definitely better than others, shall we say? Right. So, got a clean bit of cloth here. Let's get. Yeah. Doesn't it sound exactly packed with polish, but hopefully it'll be enough to do this batch. I know some of these though are actually quite bad, so fingers crossed we can do a number on them. And I might need to do a little bit of a reassessment before I pull these to one side to start comparing against my own copies. And then when I've done that, that'll be the final bit. Then once I've compared them against my own and filled in any gaps that I might have been missing, then I can price them up ready for sale as spares, you know. some of these are definitely going to be quite hard work, but we'll see. We'll just see how they come up. I'm not a miracle worker. To be honest, what's coming off is quite incredible, dirt-wise, considering we've only done 4 books. Well, look at that. Well, all we can do is do our best. And try and give these another little lease of life, but gotta admit, they are quite a bit dirtier than I thought they were going to be. But cleaning them does make a difference. And when they've got these glossy covers, it does make it quite easy to clean them in most cases. You know, they're not tough cleans, as it were. Lovely copy of London. And see, this didn't need a lot to it because it was such a nice example. Okay. Try and use a different bit of the cloth now. That is, I think, nicotine. Unfortunately, it does lift off. Not very well, but it does do it. Yes, I think I'm going to have to get to the old supermarket and get some more polish, because last time I bought 3 cans of Mr. Sheen because I'd had a real job tracking it down. And there's other polish around, of course, but Mr. Sheen seems to me to be the best on books. So it's the one I've sort of stuck to, really, you know. This one hasn't actually got a laminated jacket on, so I'm just going to lightly do that. They're not laminated. They can be painful, and this was the signed one. very cool indeed. So Bill Cox, known to millions for his television commentaries. He was a professional at the Fulwell Golf Club for many years. There you go, so you learn it all on this channel, you know. You learn it all. Even your golf. There we are. Bit grubby, this one. Yes, they're very variable, these. They are very variable. The wind is most definitely picking up. Have a bit of a car ride tomorrow morning, so I should be taking it steady, I can tell you that. This one's got a Sainsbury's sticker on and it says 8p. Which is quite funny, isn't it? This one's a little bit borderline. We'll see how it gets on with my, because I'm going to go back once these are all cleaned, and I'm going to put these all in order. Once I've done the second batch next week, I'll put these all into order, and I'll have another review to see if any of these do, if they're a bit too far gone. And if they are, then that's fine. I'll put them to one side. Now I need to straighten these up a bit. There we are. And they're looking a lot better, in all honesty. There is a couple which is still a bit on the lower grade side, but it's okay, and these are absolutely fine, of course. Let's do these big ones, shall we, for a change? Use a completely fresh bit of cloth. Now this has got a 20p sticker on, which I think we'd be okay to take off, to be honest. Yeah, there we are. Now it's left a little bit of residue. So a bit of targeted Mr. Sheen there. And then that residue is gone. Look at that. How does he do it, eh? Lovely. So that's okay. This one's not too bad either. And then the old Len Dainton. Of course, Len Dainton started he used to work at Penguin as on the art team, I think it was. But he was also like a journalist as well. But yeah, this is long before he started writing his thriller stories. Right. Zoom through this last little batch now. So, having a little think about what we've got coming up. So, the next video I'm planning to film rather, is going to be, well, the next one to go out on the channel potentially will be another load of barn find stuff from Penguin's 6 to 700, something like that. But I am going to start, now that I've got them all sorted, I'm going to start mixing in the Pelican books. So I've got about 9 huge, and I mean huge, stacks of Pelican books just to the left of me here, which are going to need the treatment. And they go right back to Pelican number 1. And it's a beautiful run of books. I mean, really fantastic. So I'm not complaining that we've got them to do. But I have also got the pressure on me to try and sort out some of my later stock as well. So, my main series stock, there's people waiting for books there. So I'm in a bit of a quandary, really, because there's no one banging on the door. Well, there's one person who's said, when have you sorted those Pelicans out? Because there's a few that I need. Well, that's true, but then there's lots of people who are waiting for me to sort out the rest of my main series books. And I think as much as I want to mix the videos up on this channel, which I do, I am feeling the pressure to try and get those other books sorted sooner rather than later, the main series Penguins, you see. So it's difficult because I only have time, even if I really could just concentrate on it, I could only have time to film 3 of these videos a week. So and that's if I didn't do anything else. So as you can see, it's all time constraints really. I do what I can in the time that I've got, but it is quite tough to fit it in sometimes. But all of it will get seen to eventually, absolutely all of it, so don't panic. So as we come to the last few bits, it has taken exactly what I thought, which was about an hour or so to go through about half of them, which is fine. I liked these videos to be an hour. They can sometimes end up being a bit longer than an hour, but an hour is what I aim for on this channel each week. An hour of brand new cleaning, and hopefully this one has gone down well and you've enjoyed seeing some of these funky titles. Obviously, if you have, don't forget to give the video the thumbs up. And if you're not already, do please hit the subscribe button for more dedicated cleaning action. I've got other stuff I've got coming in as well. It's not all Penguin books, it's just I've had a lot of Penguin books through my hands. I do a pickups video over on the main channel where I clean all my recent pickups, and over there is some really, it's a much more of a mixture. It's not all Penguin, it's all the sort of stuff that comes my way, you know, vintage science fiction and hardbacks and bits of ephemera, and it all goes through the cleaning process, old catalogues. So if you're looking for a bit of variety, because I realise that this channel has been very Penguin heavy of late, and as I say, it's just a reflection of the books that have come my way. It's not on purpose. It's just, you know, buying the big barn find and the crime collection before that has basically flooded me with Penguins, and I've not had a chance to really go out and look for other stuff. Bits have come my way, of course, but still it's been a little bit few and far between. And I don't want you to think that we just do Penguins on this channel, because we don't. We do like we do love other books as well. You know how it is. There we are, so the last few books to do now. So if you've enjoyed today's video, of course, do please give it that thumbs up. And do please hit the subscribe button, if you wouldn't mind. You can hit the notification bell if you want. That will mean that you get a little notification if you watch on your mobile or when a new video goes out. But to be honest, it's 5:45 every Saturday, so you know when they go out. It's been like clockwork ever since the channel started, which is about 4 years ago. So you know where we're at. Just doing these last few now. This one we'll be having a second look at because I'm a bit worn, to be honest. Yeah, a couple of these are borderline, but yeah, not too bad. They shall just have to be compared. This one was a little bit grubby, to be honest, but it might just make the cut. There we are. Right, so there we are. So that's it for today. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. Something a bit different. I haven't done Penguin Handbooks in ages, beyond my original collection. And these have come up okay, not brilliantly, but they've not come up too badly. Thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you again in 7 days' time with another video, which may be barn find, and then after that it's going to be pelicans. So look out for those in the coming weeks. And I'll see you then. Bye.